Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Genesis 1, verse 25. And God made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground after its kind. And God saw that it was good. This verse completes the manifestation of the command in Genesis 1, verse 24. While verse 24 was the command, let the earth bring forth, verse 25 is the execution, and God made. According to the Zohar, this movement from command to actualization marks a critical moment of grounding divine intention into material form. Every creature now becomes a vessel for specific aspects of divine energy. But more than just biology, this verse encodes profound truths about soul structure, cosmic harmony, and the integration of forces within creation. The verse phrase we have, and God made. This is the descent of supernal forms. The Zohar notes the shift from let the earth bring forth, from verse 24, to and God made in this verse. This means God fashioned and actualized the spiritual blueprints into concrete reality. The divine soul sparks now become clothed in matter. This act is associated with Asiyah, in English, the world of action, where forms are finalized and energy becomes visible. The divine will move through all four worlds, from emanation to action, to manifest living beings in physical form. Three tiers of creatures, a mirror of the inner cosmos. The repetition of three types of creatures, in this case beasts, cattle, and creeping things, now becomes actualized. Beasts, Hayat Haaretz, are wild, powerful, often predatory animals, represent untamed forces, passion, and raw creative or disruptive power. In the soul, they symbolize the Yetzer Hara, in English, inclination to chaos, which can be transformed, not suppressed. The second, we have cattle, Behemah. These are domesticated animals, calm and useful. These represent discipline, service, and emotional stability. In the soul, they are the faithful drive to serve the divine with simplicity. Next, we have creeping things, in Hebrew, remes. These are small, subtle life that moves low to the ground. These represent subtle energies, subconscious urges, and hidden layers of the psyche and creation. These often go unnoticed, but are spiritually significant. What is small is not insignificant in divine reality. The Zohar teaches that these three categories reflect three levels of vitality embedded within creation, and three facets of the human soul that must be aligned and elevated. The next phrase we have, after their kind. This is maintaining spiritual identity. The phrase, after their kind, repeats 3 times in this verse, emphasized strongly by the Zohar. All of creation must remain true to its spiritual source. the boundaries between kinds maintain order, preventing spiritual chaos, or klipot in English, shells of confusion. Each kind reflects a distinct emanation or pathway of divine expression. This reinforces the principle that unity is not sameness, but the harmonious differentiation of kinds in accordance with the divine plan. In the next phrase, we have, and God saw that it was good. This is harmony in multiplicity, the divine approval, and God saw that it was good, now applies to this final level of earthly life. For the Zohar, this means that the divine image is reflected even in animals. Each creature, in its own way, embodies and expresses a spark of the infinite. The world is now rich with diverse vessels through which divine energy can be perceived, elevated, or engaged. Good here means that divine order has been established in the world of form. Zoharic insight. This is preparing for the crown of creation. This verse is the last creation before humanity, which arrives in the next verse. The Zohar interprets this as the final arrangement of the world's foundation. All forces, instinctual, emotional, subconscious, are now in place, ready for human interaction. Humanity will be tasked with elevating and harmonizing these forces. Without the prior creation of animals, the human soul would have no reflection or foil through which to define its work. The verse thus completes the energetic infrastructure of the world, readying it for the entrance of the human being, the microcosm of all. Genesis 1 verse 25, in the mystical teachings of the Zohar, marks the final step in preparing creation for humanity. God manifests the earth's living beings, beasts, cattle, and creeping things, bringing spiritual blueprints into physical form. This act represents the completion of soul embodiment within matter. Each creature is formed after its kind, reinforcing spiritual integrity and the necessity of maintaining distinctions between divine expressions. The wild beasts represent passion and raw power. Cattle represent service and steadiness. Creeping things represents the subtle subconscious layers of creation. Together, they mirror the layers within the human soul. The declaration of the phrase, "and God saw that it was good," affirms that creation is now divinely ordered, each part manifesting the infinite in its unique way. The physical world has been shaped into a diverse, living organism ready to receive its crown, the human soul. This verse teaches that even the most earthly life holds a divine spark, and that all aspects of creation, wild and tame, seen and hidden, are part of the sacred system. With this, the stage is set for humanity, whose task will be to recognize, elevate, and unify all these fragments back to the one. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.